Hello guys, welcome back to yet another in-depth review. So if you guys remember, recently Nothing released the first open beta of Nothing OS 2.5 for Nothing Phone 2. And we are doing in-depth review of that particular build. I've been using this device as my primary phone since last week. Some overall stability issues are there, which we'll talk about them in the later part of the video. And as always, I'll be taking up all your questions which you guys posted in the community tab. So now without wasting any more time, let's get started. So here I have my Nothing Phone 2, which is currently running on the latest build of Nothing OS 2.5, which is based on Android 14 and which is first open beta build for Nothing Phone 2. You can see here Nothing OS 2.5. And if you guys want to know all the features which came with Nothing OS 2.5, you can watch the videos which are being displayed on the screen. And now before moving ahead, if you guys also like a content and if you think it's useful for you guys, then make sure to smash that like button and also consider subscribing to our channel. So first let's start with the user queries. So the first question which I picked up is from Banu Teja, who says there is a glitch in the volume and brightness control in Nothing Phone 2 where the increase and decrease levels are not uniform to actual increase or decrease of the volume and brightness. And this is exactly true. I've already noted down this thing in my notes about audio issues and the brightness issue. So yes guys, there is a issue with the brightness, so I mostly use the brightness in manual mode. Auto brightness is not calibrated that well, and the same thing goes with the audio output, or you can say volume, which is not at all uniform. And this difference you guys will feel once you install Nothing OS 2.5 beta over stable build. So the next query is related to dark mode, which is from Sheikh Yasim, who says I've been using my Nothing Phone 2 and it seems like in dark mode it has more of a dark gray and not pitch dark. So this was the case from day one itself, since the Nothing Phone, it's on Nothing Phone 1 also, and even on Nothing Phone 2 we don't get to see the pitch dark theme on any of the Nothing phones whenever you enable the dark mode. So let me enable the dark mode. So as you can see here in the camera, you guys might be able to not figure out the grayish color, but with the naked eyes it's gray color, not pitch dark. And the next query is from David, who says after the beta update I feel speaker volume got decreased and network issues. Example, if I'm at home, my phone will be on Wi-Fi. Always whenever I go out and turn on mobile data, it will not work. So I personally had no issues related to mobile data. For me 5G works perfectly fine. So for example here, if I turn off the Wi-Fi, you'll see 4G in action within few seconds, or 5G. Here we go. And yes, speaker output volume I have already mentioned, it's not balanced perfectly. So guys, these were the questions which you guys asked us on the community poll. Now let's talk about the bugs which I have encountered in my day-to-day usage. Few of them are there in the screenshots. So first let me show you the screenshots. And here you can see the first screenshot. This is an issue of the notification padding, which you can see the lock screen shortcuts overlaps the notifications. So here on the lock screen there is an issue with the padding, which I hope Nothing will fix in the upcoming builds. Here we have the second screenshot, you guys can take a look at. And another issue is related to Bluetooth. So you can see I have multiple devices which are paired with my device, which is Nothing Phone 2, and whenever I turn on Bluetooth settings, you can see it shows multiple devices with a similar name. It goes away after a while, but whenever I enable Bluetooth for the first time, it shows me multiple devices with this similar name. So I feel this is again another bug which is present on Nothing OS 2.5. Here you can see a second screenshot. Uconnect was already paired with my device and it shows me the two connections with same name. And the third issue which I have encountered in my day-to-day usage is related to this gaming dashboard icon. So whenever you trigger any game, this gaming dashboard icon, or you can say pill, appears towards the bottom side whenever your device is in landscape mode. This is one screenshot. And here you can see the second screenshot. Though it goes away after a few seconds, but it is a bug which I wanted to mention you guys. And another issue is related to audio output in the headphones. So audio output, when I use WhatsApp calling feature, in that even the speaker volume is too low, and even after connecting the headset, I've tested with Nothing Buds and OnePlus Buds Pro. In both the cases, the audio output is pretty low in WhatsApp call or even normal call. So again, I hope this thing gets fixed in the upcoming builds. Another issue which Nothing have still not fixed, which is related to dynamic refresh rate. So first of all, let me show you the display settings. And if you go here under display refresh rate, we have selected dynamic option. But if I enable the refresh rate option from developer settings, you will see this is not consistent. It should go to 1 Hz, but minimum what we see here is 10 Hz, and that is also not consistent. It keeps switching between 10 or 120. And this was the same issue when initially Nothing Phone 2 was released. I did mention in one of my video that refresh rate or the dynamic refresh rate doesn't work as expected. And the last bug in my usage which I have noticed, which is related to pocket mode. So if I am driving or if I am walking around and if I get a call, there a lot of mistouch happens. I don't have a screenshot, but once I remember, I had to wait for few minutes to unlock the device because I was using the fingerprint unlock, and in the pocket, due to a lot of mistouch, my device was completely locked for 5 minutes. So pocket mode is also an issue. And now let's talk about the battery backup, which a lot of users ask about. So first of all guys, remember one thing, battery backup will always be different for every individual. Battery backup depends on tons of factor. In my case, when I was running stable build, I always used to get 6 hours plus SOT, but now I'll show you multiple cycles. This is the first one where you can see I got 3 hours and 16 minutes of SOT, in which I did not use much of applications, though some camera testing was going on. After that second cycle, I got around 4 hours and 10 minutes of SOT. Here I did little bit of web surfing and I also watched YouTube. No heavy tasking, still the SOT was bit low. Here's another cycle wherein again I got 4 hours and 15 minutes of SOT. This is without gaming, not much of heavy tasking. So overall, if I say battery backup is not that good on Android 14 Beta 1 as of now. Now talking about the camera segment, so as we all know, we have been hearing from other YouTubers also that camera is not consistent on Nothing Phone 2, and story continues with the Android 14 update also. It's still not improved. In good lighting conditions, I can still see shadows getting crushed, though the colors pops out well sometimes, but dynamic range still requires a lot of improvements. Under artificial lights, warm color turns out to be more towards the harsh yellow color, which doesn't look good at all. Some photos doesn't even come that sharp, and they also lack details. And when we talk about photographs clicked in low light without using night mode, as said, Nothing camera is not at all consistent from day one. In this particular photo, you can see the face details are completely messed up. Also, we get to see a lot of noise in the pictures clicked in low light, and pictures are not even sharp. In portrait mode, sometimes you'll get good photos with proper edge detection, but in some challenging situations, it completely screws up the photo. You can see in this photo, mobile phone is completely blurred and the edge detection is completely ruined. Talking about selfies in normal light, skin and other colors are sometimes washed away. And as always in the low light, there's a lot of noise and too much skin smoothing going on Nothing Phone 2. So what I feel is Nothing Phone 2 requires a lot of improvements when it comes to camera segment. And now talking about the performance part. So with no doubt, normal tasking is decent. I did notice some jitters while opening up the camera application sometimes. It's not always, but sometimes yes, you'll see slight jitters or lags while scrolling around. But that can be managed. Though I tested out 2 games, one is BGMI and the second one is Auto Sports. And Auto Sports is a intense graphic game, and I would say initially Nothing did deliver 60 FPS, but after 5 to 10 minutes of gameplay, later I did notice FPS drop while playing Grid Auto Sports. That time FPS was between 35 to 50. And with BGMI, you won't get to see 90 FPS support on Nothing Phone 2 because BGMI have already released a new update of that particular game in which most of the supported device can now run 90 FPS, but Nothing Phone 2 can only deliver max of 60 FPS. You can use this device for normal TDMs and other full matches game, but I don't recommend anyone who is more into competitive matches, then this device will not be able to deliver the best performance. So guys, this was the in-depth review of Nothing OS 2.5. What I had to say is it requires a lot of improvements when it comes to camera, and there are few bugs which require fixes. I hope with Nothing OS 2.5, if they are releasing beta 2, they fix those bugs which are present on this build. But still, if you guys have any kind of questions, you can let me know in the comment section below. As of now, only this much in this video. I hope you guys gonna like the video. If you like the video, then do give us a thumbs up. And also, if you're new to our channel, then do not forget to subscribe the channel. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.